Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jo and I'm a stamp carver. And today I wanted to share with you a review of a carving material that I don't use that much, but I did want to show you why, it's one of those carving rubbers out there that you may want to try out, and so maybe this will help make the decision for you. And this is a translucent carving material. So I'm going to go through a review. I'm going to show you how it carves, and then you can make that decision for yourself. I'll have a link to the material if I can find it again. It's available often on eBay or on sometimes on Amazon, so I'll try to find a link and show it to you. But click subscribe if you like this tutorial, and you'll see more of other types, or leave me a message in the comments below about a stamp carving technique if you're looking for some further information. So these I bought as part of a package on, I believe it was eBay, it might have been Amazon, and it came with a number of different ones, and it came in a whole bunch of different colors, and it was marketed as Crystal Carve, except it doesn't actually have a brand name. There's no names on any of the packaging, and as you can see, they're clear packages, and they didn't come with any outside like lettering or writing, and online they were just marketed as carving materials. So I had to try them because I love trying any kind of carving material out there, and they're good to carve. They're not great to carve, but I wanted to show you. So when you buy them, you can buy them either individually or as a set of colors, and they come individually wrapped like this. And when you get them, the one I'm going to carve today is actually this green one. I'm going to make an Aurora Borealis. If you follow me on Instagram recently, I bought a set of glow-in-the-dark carving rubbers from Japan, and I'm really excited to do them, but I want to come up with a good design before I actually break the seal and carve them. So I decided to try a design. I made it on this green one because it is kind of see-through. I don't know if you can see there the shading. So it's not clear, but it is shaded. And when I open it up, it has a nice feeling to it. It's, you can see more shading. It's fairly squared. The edges are nice and sharp, except the whole slab kind of bends a little bit. And if you can see on the camera here, it's actually, the colors change through the stamp. It's a little bit more green at the top on the expanded side, and on the curled inside, it's a little whiter. So see, whiter on the curled side and less so on the back. So when you feel it, it doesn't really feel dusty. It doesn't feel rubbery. It doesn't pill like an eraser would. It's very plasticky. And does it smell like anything? No, it just sort of smells like you'd expect it would. So I can't tell if there's a specific side that you're expected to carve, but out of necessity, I think I'm going to carve the lighter colored side, which is this one, because it curls in on that, and I think pressing down on this side will reduce the concavity of it, technical term, for the carving. So let's show you then how I'm going to carve this thing. First up, I'm going to take my design and I'm going to use the toner transfer technique to transfer it onto the rubber. I just use 100% acetone over a particular printer in order to do this. So you need a printer that is toner based, and not all toner printers do it. I know the Brother printers do. And it makes it really easy to transfer your digital design because you just need a little bit of heat or a chemical, and in this case I'm using acetone. So in this case, and it doesn't work on all rubbers either, it transferred quite nicely. So I like the transfer. Transfers quite well. So to the carving. Let me see if I can do a nice close-up for you. It's kind of strange to me that it's see-through, because as I'm carving I can see the shadow of my fingers through the rubber, which is it's not what I'm used to. but I'm just carving with a gouge right now. And it's carving quite nice. So it's nice and soft, which if you have seen any of my other videos, I think is just one of those important features if you're going to be carving in your hand, like what I'm doing right now. If you like carving with it flat on a table, you definitely want to be doing that with just, you can use that any type of hardness to do that. So that went quite easily, and it's hard to show you because the translucentness of it means that if I tilt this on its side, you can't see the shade, the shadow for it. So, excuse me. Okay, you need to go unless you want to be carved. All right, so let me try some of the vertical stripes. So it's actually carving quite nicely with the gouge. So this is my Speedball #1 tip gouge, and it's making nice strips. So why don't I finish carving this, and I will then let you know what I think. So I'm done carving, and like I was mentioning before, because this is semi-translucent, the carved surface almost is invisible, and that makes it a little tricky for carving. So normally you can actually see the shadows. So let me go find another stamp, and I'm going to show you the difference. Okay, so here's the difference. It was hard to find a stamp that's only one color. I have so many multicolored carving blocks, but this is all one color, and as you can see, the shadows make it very obvious that there is some kind of plant carved into this block. But I did that whole aurora which is this design, and it's almost impossible to see. There's no way really. Oh, you can sort of see it if I cover the back. There you go. So that's actually, it's an interesting property of it. One time I carved a Cheshire cat into one of these because it was nice that the Cheshire cat disappeared, and when you inked it up, you can actually see it. So let me show you that. So because this is the Aurora, and I haven't tested the print yet here, this is going to be first for both of us. So I wanted to make sure to get the effect. So I want to do a little bit of blue, and then purple, and then black at the top here. One of my favorite printmaking facts is that when you get something like that, I'm going to leave it and show you. Here's the test print. When you get something like that, it has a technical term. It's called a hickey. But anyway, so other than the hickey that I left on purpose, that looks great. You know, it really holds the ink well, and it prints well. So let me try printing it again, this time without a hickey. And I will say that when you do test print, one thing you should know is that there's something about getting it inky for the first time that really helps the next following prints. You know, some stamps, the more you stamp them, the better they stamp. So if you're like, oh no, I tried something and it's not, the ink is beading or anything like that, sometimes just give it a few more stamps, re-inkings, and it might help. But also maybe try a different type of ink, because sometimes the stays-on ones are actually, they bite into the material more than others. So, all right, I'm gonna stamp that there. Oh, too cool. So there you go. There is my Northern Lights. So the material is really fun to carve with a gouge. Having said that, it's a little tricky to carve with a knife, and it's really one of the ones I don't carve lettering with, because when you put your knife into the block, it's very difficult to see. So let me show you what I mean by that. Here is my knife, and I am just going to carve a little triangle out of this. So I'm going to slice it like that, and then like this, and then like this. Now, because I only did a triangle, I knew exactly what I was doing in order to get this little piecey out, right? But when you look at the cut that's there, because it's translucent, it's very hard to see that that's just a triangle. It looks sort of like a mangled mess. And it will print properly. Oh, look, if you put it on an angle, it's better. It will print properly as a triangle, but as you're carving it visually, I just find that impossible. So when it's a more simple design gouge carve, much easier. Anyway, I hope you liked that review. I quite like the way the stamp turned out. If you want me to try and show you a number of different other carving rubbers, please let me know in the comments below. But I'd love if you could join the carve along. There's a sign up and there's a free sheet that comes out every time there's a carve along, and it lets you have the design and links to the materials you need to literally make the same stamp that I'm carving while I'm doing it, so I can explain the whole process through and through. So that link's below, as well as some links if you want to get some of this material. So thank you so much for watching today, and I'd love to hear from you soon. Thanks. Bye.